timeouts. A three for the lead or the win. Wolf spinning, hanging, scoring with 7 seconds to go. Minnesota no timeouts. Patterson bumped, we play on. It's Garcia, lets it go for the win. Dawson Garcia, bottom, ball game. Gophers walk it off and beat Michigan in overtime.
Crazy hoops night Thursday. You start with Minnesota beating top 20 Michigan at the buzzer, which you just saw. Dawson Garcia, Mr. Minnesota himself. Not just winning, but doing it basically at half court on the logo. First ranked win for the program in years, and just some nice momentum for them. We bring in Rafael Davis now to break down. Again, there were 2 crazy shots. We'll get to the second one in a bit. But let's start with that one. He is Mr. Minnesota. I mean, he's been there so long. It was just such a great thing to see for him. But break down exactly how he did it. I mean, that's not... Listen, at the end of shoot-arounds, you practice shots like that from half court, but not that seriously.
Oh, no. You could see Dawson Garcia as they were dribbling that ball up the floor. He was creeping. He was waiting. He was calling the name of Mike Mitchell. He's screaming it. Give me the ball. Find me, young fella. And he delivered in a big way. This is the reason why Dawson Garcia decided to transfer back to Minnesota, to be at home, to be around family, to play for the university he grew up watching, wanting to play for. Big-time player, big-time shot. And it wasn't just that shot. He had 27 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and 0 turnovers. Big fella had it going, and he was defending at a high level. Took Danny Wolf out of the game in the first half, made it trouble for Black Gold on that block. This is the leader that Coach Ben Johnson expected, and he showed up last night.
Great moment for him. Great moment for his head coach, too. Ben Johnson is one of the most likable guys. He's had a run of bad luck under his watch a couple of years in a row. I don't want to make too much of it. We don't know what's happening. Right. But this could be the type of thing that gives you the energy and the momentum to turn your season around.
Yeah, for sure. I've been at the bottom of this league, and sometimes it just takes that one win for it to click. And you look at some of these losses that that Minnesota's been able to take this season. You think Lakai Patterson, he's been big time. He was huge in that Ohio State loss, had 20 points in that one, had 15 points in the loss at Maryland. You look at Mike Mitchell, he's been working his way. But Oda Kool-Aid, last night, huge. 7 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. They have their other guys stepping up. That's why I always like to say, you may lose a game, but as long as your guys, they learn something, you could benefit from it. And I thought that Ohio State loss, they learned how to play without Dawson Garcia on the floor. That game at Maryland, they learned how to take it to the end. And this one, they got over the hump.
Yeah, and like you said, they're getting support. It's not just him. It was Mitchell had 20, Garcia had 20, Patterson had 20. The first time Gophers have had 3 guys scoring 20 points or more in 7 years. Sure enough, it leads to a ranked win for them. First one they've had in the last 4 years. So that was the beginning of the chaos in the Big Ten. There was another massive ending between Maryland and Northwestern. This one ended up in overtime. It was a game that went back and forth. Multiple clutch shots for the Terps, but the shot of the night from Nick Martinelli. 0.7 seconds left in the game. It is a catch and shoot in overtime. And Martinelli, the winner. Chaos again in Evanston once more, which has been something we've seen multiple times already. First off, just the simple breakdown of his shot. Yeah. What did you see, and how hard is it with less than a full second to square up, catch, and shoot?
See, I was at this game. Before the game, I didn't know it was a game going on in Evanston. I'm at Northwestern, I'm at Welsh Ryan. I'm looking for our Boo Booey plot to start to build the statue. I hear there's a game going on inside, so I snuck in the arena. And you can see me on that game winner. I'm right behind the bench. And you see it. You see Ty Berry cut hard. You see Brooks Barnheiser cut hard. All as decoys. And that's what I love about Northwestern. They do their job because there's so many guys that the play isn't drawn up for them. They take the play off. Ty Berry had 15 in the game. He could have been a guy that could have made that shot. He cut hard, knew he wasn't getting it. Brooks Barnheiser, he could have been a guy that got this shot. He cut hard, didn't get it. And then Nick Martinelli came around that screen, hands ready. Ball was on time, on target. He just raised up and knocked it down. Nick Martinelli, his development this season has been in big time. He has been sensational. You think the time when Brooks Barnheiser was out Nick Martinelli carried the load. I love how Coach went to him in this moment. All of the guys stepped up. It was a gritty performance. No one quit. You could see that in Maryland. They're making that charge back. Northwestern had multiple opportunities to just fold, just quit, just throw the game in. They kept chugging along. They kept playing the right way, and it ended up working out for them.
And at the top of that roster has been a combination of Martinelli and Barnhizer. And, of course, Barnhizer gets a clutch moment, too. 15 seconds left. Maybe travel.
Not a maybe.
Didn't get called. But then he hits a big shot for them. I mean, those two guys have been such an impressive 1-2 combo the whole year.
Oh, for sure. They've been big time. I would say Nick Martinelli, Brooks Barnhizer, if the season ended today, they'd be one of the few teams in the conference that has multiple all Big Ten conference guys. And it says a lot about what Coach has been putting together at Northwestern, because we talk about Coach Painter. You saw the development of Braden Smith this season. You see the development of Zach Edey the prior seasons. Well, Northwestern falls right into that category. You think of Boo Buie, you think Brooks Barnhizer. Now you talk about Nick Martinelli. You see Angelo Cheravino. He's starting the game now. He's playing better. They got great production off Ty Berry. That's what I love what Coach Collins did. Put Ty Berry to the bench, let him figure it out. He acted like a senior. He acted like a leader. He came into that game, didn't feel bad for himself, and knocked down shots. But out of all the guys, Jalen Leach had a good one. My favorite player to watch last night, Fitz-Morris, the big fella. Kalen Fitz-Morris was big time. He didn't score. 2 rebounds, 2 fouls, but he had energy. He had toughness. He had grit. And he was a guy in those huddles. He was screaming. He was bringing guys along, making sure everybody knew what was going on. A complete effort for those guys.
Team effort to stop a 3-game losing skid. And quickly on Maryland, how about Gillespie being clutch? This guy hits not only a game-tying shot in the final 10 seconds to force overtime, he hits a game-tying shot in the final 10 seconds of overtime. It didn't end up mattering. They lost the game, but that's an impressive way to lose.
No, for sure. You think about how Jacoby played at Washington in that true road game out on the West Coast. He's bounced back. He's playing some of his best ball of the season. At the point of attack, being able to get downhill, finish at the rim through the trees, it did not matter for Jacoby Gillespie. He needs some help, though. Derek Queen looked like a freshman on the road. 9 points, 5 turnovers, 4 fouls. He was complaining to the refs, talking trash to the crowd. He's got to be better on the road. They got to find a way to get Selton Miguel going, making shots from deep. Because Maryland, you're not going to win games when you go on the road. You shoot 6 for 20 from the three-point line, and you have 16 turnovers. Their backcourt has got to be better and be like how we thought they would be coming into this year.
It's hard to win on the road in the Big Ten. It's a tale as old as time. That's now 3 of the last 5 games Maryland has lost. All 3 of them have been on the road.
Tough.
Rutgers took on Nebraska, and this was a game that was close. It came down to the end. It was only a 1-score game by the final result, but Rutgers gets the win. I kind of want to go big picture on this. Again, it's too early to make grand proclamations, but you look at the last 2 games for the Scarlet Knights. They beat UCLA. They win at Nebraska. We knew coming in this was a team with a lot relying on young shoulders, guys who hadn't been in the Big Ten before, guys who hadn't been in college before. Maybe this could be a turning of their season around a little bit?
No, I think so, because I go back to 2014-2015 season. Purdue was coming off a last-place finish in the Big Ten. We had 4 scholarship guys returning, and this was pre-portal. This was before everything started going down. And we brought in 5 freshmen, and 3 of them had to start. Vince Edwards, Isaac Haas, Dakota Mathias, all had to play and give production, not just be out there on the floor. And it started out shaky for us. We were 8-5 in the non-con with losses to North Florida at home, to Gardner-Webb at home, got blew out by 30 against Notre Dame. We started the conference season 3-3. We go on to make the NCAA tournament. We win 7 out of our 8 games, next 8 games. We beat some ranked teams. And that's who this Rutgers program could be. They have figured it out. And it's not just on the offensive end. Yeah, Dylan Harper's great. Ace Bailey was sensational. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks. But it's their other guys. You see a guy, Dylan Grant, coming into this lineup and making, hey, you got to understand, Dylan Grant is a freshman, one of the better players to come out of Michigan, but he played 20 minutes in all of November and all of December combined, and he's averaging 20 minutes a game the last 4, giving great production. I love what Coach Piker has done. He said, if I'm going to lose with freshmen, I'm going to lose with 4 freshmen in my starting lineup. Somerville's been great. Dylan just gave him a jump off the bench, and then they got some production from their older guys. From Zach Martini, he knocked down 3 threes. That's what he was expected to do this season. You look at guys off the bench coming in and making plays. Michael Davis, Jeremiah Williams was better. The defense was better down the stretch for this Rutgers squad. They fought on the glass. They took care of the ball. They shared it. 16 assists. This is who Rutgers was to be coming into this year, and it's clicking at the right time for these dudes. I wouldn't want to play 2 top 5 draft picks in January.
And what was nice, too, about if you're thinking of the development of this team, they had composure late in the game. Nebraska made a run, and they were able to keep it together and hold on and just get the win, which makes it 3 straight losses now for the Cornhuskers.